This is a talk about Coeditor, a large language model for a new programming task called multi-round code auto-editing. Here is a demo showing how Coeditor works in an IDE. After making some changes, the user selects a function that they would like the model to edit. Based on the changes just made, the model then suggests a diff to be applied to the selected region. In this case, this fixed the errors highlighted by the IDE. Coeditor can also be used for a refactoring scenario. Here, the user added a new attribute to a class, and Coeditor suggested an update to the drawing list call using the newly defined attribute. Additionally, after accepting the suggestion, Coeditor can make a further suggestion by taking the accepted changes into account. Continuing from the previous example, if the user now goes to a different but similar class, Coeditor can suggest similar edits to the class, helping the user finishing this refactoring more easily and much faster. In this work, we make the following core contributions. We introduced the multi-round code auto-editing task, along with the corresponding PyCommits dataset and the evaluation framework. We released Coeditor, a code auto-editing model derived from Code-T5. We compared our model's performance with open-source code completion models, and also evaluated Coeditor's ability to perform multi-round code auto-editing. Lastly, we also released a VS Code extension to support interactive usages and faster future research. Let's now talk about some of these contributions in more details. Here is an illustration of the code auto-editing task. For a given codebase, we take a user-selected function or class as the main input and use the recent changes as the additional context. We then feed this to a sequence-to-sequence model and let the model output any code changes that should be applied to the selected code. Any changes accepted by the user are then added to the recent changes, and this process can be repeated multiple times. To show the recent changes to the model, we represent code changes as line diffs and introduce two new special tokens for line addition and deletion. The model also needs a way to output code changes for a given selected code region. To achieve this, we generalize our line diff format by putting special placeholder tokens at the beginning of each selected line. This way, the model can efficiently output a diff that only mentions the modified lines. Like this. This is exactly a mask span infilling task, which motivated us to use the Code-T5 model for this work. Code-T5 is an encoder-decoder model pre-trained on randomly masked code spans, and we fine-tune it on code edits, using the format that we just described. We construct our training and eval dataset using the commit history of open source projects. For each commit, we split the changes by following a syntactic boundaries, and we order the split changes into a sequence using a heuristic based on file locations and import orders. We then teach the model to edit each modified syntactic scope conditioned on all previous changes. To mimic the situation where the user has already made some changes to the selected region, we also randomly move some line changes from the output into the input. This enables the iterative editing experience that you saw earlier in the demo video. The main results from our paper compare Coeditor with other open source code completion models on a simplified line-level code completion task. We built our test set by extracting such code completion problems from real commits taken from open source projects. Because Coeditor can use same commit diffs as additional context, it achieved superior performance despite using a much smaller model than the baselines. To learn more about this work, please read our paper for more details, such as model architecture and the evaluation setups. I'm Jiayi Wei from UT Austin. Thank you for watching.